I am telling you right now, Republicans are intentionally working to drive up inflation and intentionally working to cripple our supply chain. Why? Because they want to drive up inflation. They think it's going to help them in the midterms. They want to cripple supply chains because they think it will help them in the terms. They're doing it on purpose to hurt you, your family, your wallet.
That is TikToker Paul in Texas, who has a theory about what Greg Abbott is doing right now that's already causing chaos at the border and could have long-term consequences for the price and availability of a number of different products throughout the country. He gets into his full theory in this video.
Right now, Governor Abbott here in the state of Texas is forcing the DPS, which is our version of the state troopers, to stop every single truck coming out of Mexico. Every single truck, and do a safety inspection on it. What they're doing is they're backing up shipping for dozens and dozens and dozens of miles. Normally, a Mexican driver will bring a truck over across the border. They'll drop it at a depot, and an American driver will pick it up and drive off. They usually do about 4 a day. They can't get one through. They can't get one truck through. They're backed up for miles. Laredo's the largest land port in this country. And they've got it backed up so goddamn far you can't even see the end of the goddamn line. These are the sorriest in the world. Republicans are traitors. They don't give a who they hurt, who they just so long as they can get some power. I'm telling you people, vote blue in every election.
Okay, so you can see Paul in Texas on TikTok. Yeah, he has a lot more details about that, including updates. But he is trying to raise awareness about what's happening because it's made sort of limited national news, but it's true. Since last week, commercial vehicles entering Texas have faced not only the usual federal immigration and customs inspections, but new checkpoints set up by Texas police on the roadway immediately after a measure Mr. Abbott said he was ordering in response to the flow of illegal drugs and human trafficking across the border. Delays now stretch up to 14 hours, and some drivers have been diverted to Arizona and New Mexico. They are driving states away rather than wait for this new, suspiciously just a few months out from the election change that Abbott has made. They love to talk about how inflation is really bad and products are getting too expensive and they're not available. You go on the store shelves and the products aren't there. But look at what effect they're actually directly having on that, Nalini. I think it's fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. What Republicans do when they're in charge and they want to seem that they will save the day, they change the rules. They literally rig and change the rules. And what we are seeing here is across the country, Republicans are using inflation and Americans' fear of gas prices rising to just say this is the Democrats' problem, when it's really price gouging and folks actually setting up these conditions that are the problem right now. And I think that it's really, really insidious that someone who has not protected his constituencies when the big storms happened last year and people were out of power, out of food, out of resources, to actually have the nerve to say, you know what, inflation's going up, and it's the Democrats' problem when he's the one who's in charge.
Yeah.
He's the one that's in charge of this state. And he's just doing this because he knows Texans are actually upset. And that Paul guy on that video, I need to recruit him to run for office. He's amazing.
Yeah, no, he's doing a good job there and raising awareness about this. Want to give you a little bit more details. The standoff has stoked warnings by trade groups and experts that US grocery shoppers could soon notice shortages on shelves and higher prices. Guarantee if that happens, Fox and Friends is gonna cover it. You think they're gonna mention what's going on in Texas? I doubt it. Mr. Abbott said that the safety checks were needed to increase oversight, even if state police were not legally authorized to search for migrants or drugs at the checkpoints. So it's not just strategically seems to be designed to hurt as many people as possible. Also, he seems to be admitting that they might not be legally allowed to do what they're doing, but they will proceed regardless. And by the way, in the city of Far, which is a major international bridge, $12 million in produce is shipped every day to the US. It's been shut down. Now, scores of drivers have set up a blockade of their own in protest over the new inspections. And a similar protest has happened in El Paso. And so here's my question to Fox and Friends and Fox. Hey, trucker protest. They're trying to raise awareness about something that's made it impossible for them to do their jobs. Now, I understand it's not about mandates or vaccines or whatever, but Abbott is making it so that they can't do their job. Stuff could be rotting in those trucks. They're making far less deliveries than they were. When are you gonna send your reporters? When are you gonna profile some of these truckers? Or are they not the right sort of truckers for your interests? Any final thoughts, Nalini?
I mean, this is what happens. We have people who are actually standing up, taking a stand for some injustice that they see that's happening to their lives, and nobody wants to report on it, or people don't want to report on it from the Republican side because they know it won't help their narrative of that. We're just against the Democrats, and that's it.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.